Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to today's lecture. My name is Xuqing Chen, and today I'm excited to share with you my research topic, Cognitive and Cultural Dimensions of the Chinese Pentatonic Scale, an integrated study of semi-structured interviews and music analysis. You will see our discussion outline here. With it, you will find why I chose this subject and its connection to the world. Let's begin. In the academic exploration of music, the pentatonic scale is not only a core of Chinese musical culture, but also a bridge connecting tradition with modernity and the East with the West. I choose to study the pentatonic scale because of its unique and significant position in the diversity of musical cultures. Firstly, as a musical structure, the pentatonic scale states in the history of Chinese music goes far beyond a technical choice. It profoundly reflects cultural identity and philosophical thought. The correspondence between the pentatonic scale and the theory of yin and yang, the fifth element, not only reflects the ancient Chinese understanding of the universe and the human body's operation, but also this deep cultural and philosophical connection makes the pentatonic scale an indispensable part of studying Chinese musical culture. This is evident in the Huangdi Jing, where the correspondence between the pentatonic scale and the five Visual rivers, the profound connection between music, medicine, and philosophy. Secondly, the unique position of the pentatonic scale in global musical diversity has sparked my deep interest in this subject. Research indicates that global musical diversity is largely independent of language and genetic history, suggesting that music traditions have a unique place in human history. The pentatonic scale has a form of scale present in the folk music of various ethnic groups, together with other modern systems like major and minor scales, constitutes a rich tapestry of modern music system. This independence of music diversity provides us with a new perspective to explore and understand the role and significance of the pentatonic scale in global music culture. Lastly, the application of the pentatonic scale in contemporary music composition demonstrates its powerful vitality and potential for innovation. Through in-depth study of the pentatonic scale, we can not only better understand and appreciate the unique charm of Chinese music, but also promote cross-cultural musical exchange and understanding, advancing the creative transformation and innovation development of Chinese musical culture. The pentatonic scale is not only a vital component of Chinese musical culture, but also key to global musical diversity and cross-cultural exchange. Study the pentatonic scale is an exploration of the complex interactions between music and culture, tradition and modernity, a pursuit that is not only academic but also a profound tribute to human cultural heritage. The very aim of this study is to delve into how Chinese individuals perceive and interpret the pentatonic scale and the characteristics of the musical system with cognitive and cultural dimensions. We seek to answer the following research question: how does the perception and interpretation of the pentatonic scale vary across different cognitive frameworks? What cognitive and cultural dimensions shape the perception and interpretation of the pentatonic scale? Throughout China's extensive musical history, the pentatonic scale has not only served as the foundation of musical composition, but also been an integral part of Chinese culture. For the ritual and music system of the Zhou dynasty to mold music education, the pentatonic scale with its unique five tones, gong, shang, jiao, zhi, and yu has been present in various periods of Chinese music. It reflects ancient Chinese philosophy thoughts, such as the theories of yin and yang and fifth elements, and is closely related to social hierarchy and religion ceremonies. The deep cultural and philosophical connection of the pentatonic scale make it a symbol of Chinese musical identity. In the field of music cognition, research on the pentatonic scale aids our understanding of how music is perceived and understood. Studies indicate that the perception and interpretation of music are influenced not only by an individual's cognitive abilities, but also by the listener's cultural background and social environment. In cross-cultural communication, the pentatonic scale as a unique musical language provides a bridge for dialogue between different cultures. Dissemination and acceptance in global music culture demonstrate the universality and diversity of music. Also, previous research has discussed the application and the cultural significance of the pentatonic scale in traditional Chinese music. There are still gaps in systematic comparative studies on the perception of the pentatonic scale across different cultures. Its practical application in music education and exploration of the neuroscience behind pentatonic scale perception. The innovation of the study lies in its in-depth exploration of the perception and interpretation of the pentatonic scale by Chinese musicians, educators, and learners through semi-structured interview, combined with the analysis of traditional and modern musical works to review the application and significance of the pentatonic scale with different cognitive frameworks and cultural backgrounds. Additionally, our research emphasizes the role of the pentatonic scale in the global exchange and integration of music culture, as well as its importance in music education and performance. Through this research, we hope to provide a new theoretical perspectives for the field of music psychology and cultural studies and offer practical guidance for music education and performance practice. Next, I will share with you our research methods and design, and how we use these methods to explore the perception and interpretation of the pentatonic scale. This study explores quantitative research methods. The first method is semi-structured interviews. To gain an in-depth understanding of the perception and interpretation of the pentatonic scale by Chinese musicians, music educators, and learners, we designed a series of open-ended questions aimed at encouraging participants to freely express their feelings, associations, and understanding of the pentatonic scale. The interview questions cover aspects from initial impressions to the role of the pentatonic scale in music composition and its cultural significance. We ensure the flexibility of the interviews to probe further according to participants' response. Our interviews are recorded and transcribed for detailed analysis. The second method is music analysis selection. We have carefully selected two representative Chinese pentatonic scale works to demonstrate the application of the pentatonic scale in traditional and modern music. We choose the main melody segment of Butterfly Lovers by He Zhanghao and Chen Gang as a model of modern music. A melody segment from the Guqin piece Liu Shui as a representative of traditional music. This work was selected not only for their stats in music history, but also for the unique application and expressively of pentatonic scale. We adopted an analytical framework that combines Chinese music theory with Western Shakespearean analysis to deeply explore the use of the pentatonic scale in Chinese musical works. to systematically code and query interview data. We used NVivo.plus software to identify and validate emerging themes and patterns. The software's visualization features help us better understand the relationship between data and how they connect with our research question. Additionally, reuse of NVivo 12 Plus enhanced efficiency and reliability in data analysis, ensuring the accuracy of our research findings. Through in-depth thematic coding and qualitative analysis of interview data, we aim to reveal key themes and patterns in the perception practice of the Pentatonic scale. By exploring these methods, our study aims to provide a comprehensive perspective that combines individuals' perceptions, cognitive process, and cultural backgrounds with the structure and expressiveness of musical composition. This will not only help us gain a deeper understanding of the central role of the pentatonic scale in Chinese music, but also reveal how it shapes and reflects individual and collective musical experience. Through the coding analysis with NVivo 12 Plus software, we have extracted a series of key themes and patterns from the interview data, which provide us with profound insights into interpretation of the pentatonic scale. 1. Cultural roots. The coding data reveals that the connection between the pentatonic scale and traditional Chinese culture was at the core of the participants' discussions. Many interviews mentioned the close ties between the pentatonic scale and ancient Chinese philosophy, religion, rituals, and music theory. Emotional resonance. The data indicates that the pentatonic scale involves strong emotional resonance among the participants. In particular, it can evoke deep emotions and memory associated with traditional Chinese music. Educational value. Educators emphasizes the value of the pentatonic scale in music education, considering it key to understanding and appreciating traditional Chinese music. Creative inspiration. Musicians mentioned that the pentatonic scale is an important source of inspiration in the creative process, providing a unique Chinese flavor to modern music works. Cross-culturally delightful. Another frequently appearing theme in the interviews is the role of the pentatonic scale in cross-cultural communication, seen as a bridge connecting different cultures and promoting global music understanding. Cognitive frameworks. The data shows that participants' perceptions and interpretation of the pentatonic scale are influenced by the cognitive frameworks, including the musical training backgrounds and cultural experience. So, the connection between the pentatonic scale and traditional Chinese culture is a significant finding of this study. According to research results, the pentatonic scale, 宫商角徵羽, constitutes not only the basic model system of traditional Chinese music, but it also closely intertwined with Chinese philosophical thoughts, religion practice, social structures, and aesthetic concepts. Even guessed, this is a book and the Chinese name is 灵书协课. The correlation between the 5 tones and the 5 viscera reflects the ancient Chinese cosmology and humanistic thought, demonstrating the profound connection between music and medicine, philosophy, and culture. Each tone in the pentatonic scale has unique symbolic meanings. For example, the gong tones represent stability and tranquility, while the shang tones convey a sense of sadness. These symbolic meanings play a significant role in music composition and performance. Furthermore, the emotional expression and the symbolic significance of the pentatonic scale in Chinese music make it a bridge connection to past with the present, and the East with the world. This unique model system helps musicians to directly touch people's souls through melody and establish a deep emotional connection with the audience. Now, we enter following this topic. Analyze of the application of the pentatonic scale in the traditional music piece 流水. Let's first take a moment to appreciate the piece 流水 through listening. To align with Ozzy, we can explore the difference between the pentatonic scale in the context of Chinese culture and West music, as well as how cultural backgrounds as factors influence human perception of music. Liu Shui is a renowned Guqin piece, celebrated not only for its beautiful melody but also for its profound cultural connotations. According to the Chinese Academy of Art Music Research Institute and the Beijing Guqin Research Association's 1962 document, we observe that Liu Shui explored the five gong system in its melody line, yet its mode demonstrates rich variation. This embodies the concept of 旋宫转调 in traditional Chinese music theory. 旋宫转调 refers to the transformation of the pitch center 宫场 and its corresponding mode with the center 宫调 system. Technically, the transformation is based on the pitch center's conventions in fifths, mainly achieved through two measures, 阴调 and 阳调. Yang Diao involves raising the gong tone by perfect fourths or lowering it by perfect fifths to establish a new pitch center, similar to subdominant modulation in Western music. Yin Diao, on the other hand, raises the gong tone by perfect fifths or lower it by a perfect fourth to establish a new pitch center, akin to dominant modulation in Western music theory. In Liu Shui, the five tones of the pentatonic scale Gong, Shang, Jiao, Zhi, Yu are perfectly showcased as its main tone. The Huangdi Neijing mentions the spleen corresponds to Gong, and its sound is bold and slow. The last correspond to Shang, and its sound is urgent and clean. The liver corresponds to Jiao or Jue, and its sound is cooling and long. The Zhi tone, associated with fire, corresponds to the heart, characterized by its heroic and bright sound. The kidney corresponds to Yu, and its sound is deep and delicate. The integration of these five tones and balance of tuning, along with the absence of new tone, 偏音, reflects the viewpoint in the Shi Jing. Therefore, music is that which agitates the blood, circulates the spirits, and harmonized justice and righteousness. The five tone internally move the five reservoir, and as discussed in the Neijing, it further explains the mechanism of the five tone as a therapy method. The Neijing literature indicated that music can establish a harmonious relationship of yin and yang with the human body, organs, and energy, bringing pressure to the mind and balance to the five reservoir. This aligns with the Chinese musical concept of unity of heaven and man and the balance of yin and yang. Liu Shui, in Chinese cultural concept of unity of heaven and man. In this piece, the pentatonic scale is integrated with the five-element theory, closely linking music with nature, the human body, and social order, reflecting the profound pursuit of harmony and balance in Chinese culture. Now, we will use Western music analysis way to deal with this segment. When analyzing Liu Shui, use Shankering analyze. We observe harmonic sequences such as 5-1-5, 5-1-5-4, 4-5-1-4-5, 3-1, and 4-5-1 that outline the beauty of movement with the pentatonic scale. This note dance on the surface of the water like light and shadow, shining with a pointillistic color that creates a dreamlike emotional atmosphere. In the fourth section of Liu Shui, the structural landmark 2 plus 7 plus 13 is akin to a meticulously designed landscape garden. The initial two measures, like a garden path, lead us into a arisonic space with spurious embellishment. The following 7 measures feature a high melody line that pour out like a gentle stream, flowing through the garden, displaying the softness and fluctuation of flowing water. The 13 measures then cascade like a garden waterfall, with the overall range descending to converge on the tonic of the same mode, giving the flowing sound a deeper quality, as if carrying unpredictable feelings and unfledged emotions, leaving a lasting impression. Moving into the 5th section of Liu Shui, the structure framework 4 plus 8 plus 10 is like the climax of the drama. The simple rhythmic embellishment in the first 4 measures act like the drum beats at the start of the play, dynamically introducing the emotional release to follow. The 8 measures begin with the yu note in the same mode, like a dancer gracefully leaping onto the stage, transitioning into a smooth and splendid sonic expression. And finally, resting more stably on the tonic, allowing the music to enter a brief respite, akin to the dancer's elegance freezing in the center of the stage. The following 10 measures display a broad range of melodic stops, like a vast landscape painting. The first 4 measures, with the yu and gong notes as the structural foundation, keep the music in a weak functional color, showing a soft music melody characteristics, much like a distant mountains and faint shadows in a painting. The last 6 measures return fully to the tonic framework, telling the soft temperament of the first 4 measures to a strong, bold, and heroic quality, like a foreground of the painting with prominent mountains and a powerful era for the elevating the music. Next, let's continue deal with the analysis of the application of pentatonic scale in a modern music piece. Butterfly Lovers. Let's listen for 5 minutes. Butterfly Lovers is a brilliant Guzheng concerto composed by He Zhanghao and Chen Gang. In this piece, the main melody is based on the Di-Gong system of the pentatonic scale, but the mode is the A-zhi hexatonic with an A special note 清绝. The Huangdi Neijing mentioned that each note is associated with specific organs and the emotional response. In this sample, the zhi mode is mentioned in the Huangdi Neijing, indicated that the zhi note corresponding to the heart, fire elements, and its emotional change is associated with joy, happy. In music of the zhi mode, due to its correspondence with the heart, it can influence emotions, inducing a sense of tranquility. When people listen to music in the zhi mode, it can stimulate the function of the heart, promote blood circulation, and thus bring about a pleasant and cheerful emotional experience. It is essential to mention the two characteristics of terms in this example, 清绝 and altered 公. In ancient music literature, the emphasis on orthodox songs reflect moral and aesthetic demands in music. In Yue Ji states, when the world is greatly settled, then the 6 laws are corrected, and the 5 sounds are harmonized. Strings and song poetry and phrases. This is called Waiter's sound, and Waiter's sound is called music. This indicated that during the Xi Han dynasty, when the Yue Ji was compiled, orthodox songs were the tones that educated people and maintained order. The Yue Ji also points out, ritual is the order of heaven and earth. Music is the harmony of heaven and earth. This showed that in ancient China, music was not only an art form but also a part of the ritual system. And orthodox songs were key to maintain this order and harmony. The ancient reviews orthodox songs because the 5 songs were a stable tone with the function of educating people, and orthodox songs were the foundation for achieving these functions. By correct music, that is, by regulating and organizing music to meet the ritual's requirements for elegant music, the purpose of education could be achieved. As for off-tone, in music practice, as recorded by Mr. Li Yinghai, Huangmei opera actor Wang Shaofen skillfully used the altered zhi tone when performing the Lou Taihui meeting. Since in Butterfly Lovers, Mr. Li Yinghai mentioned, actors naturally hand it this way according to the needs of emotion. They intuitively feel the role of off-tone in expression. Actor relying only on intuition spontaneously recognize the role of off-tone in emotional expression. In fact, as early as the Warring State period, the ancient Chinese clearly recognized this point. As said in the record of the Shi Ji regarding the Jin Ke assassination of Qin, during the Warring State period, Gao Jianli, making the sound of the outer zhi tone, caused all the soldiers to weep with tears and signs. So, in the Butterfly Lovers Concerto, the pentatonic scale serves as the foundation of the music structure and a conduit for emotional expression, letting audience feel upset and peace. Now, we are going to conduct an in-depth analysis to Butterfly Lovers use shake-ring analysis, observing the clarity and the singability of its melodic lines, which are closely related to the structural characteristics of the pentatonic scale. For instance, the structure intervals dun, dun, da, dun, da, dun, dun, with the melody form an oddly agitated wave-like structure being framed and beautiful melody color. This structure is closely related to the emotion expression and color of Chinese music. This segment, consisting of 9 measures, can be divided into a structure of 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3. Butterfly Lovers utilizes a narrative structure with the 9-measure melody fragment to display Liang Shanbo and Zhu Yingtai's yearning and pursuit of a beautiful love through the undulation of melodic lines and harmonic structure. The tone color of the Di Gong system supports the beautiful and bright story tone of the entire fragment. In terms of harmonic usage, unlike the triadic structures of the common practice period in Western music, it explored a significant number of second and fourth degree chord stacks, making the pentatonic color more pronounced and the harmonic effect more ambiguous. With the harmonic framework of these 9 measures, the overall progression follows a pattern of 1 to 5, 3 to 6 to 1. The harmonic development of 1 to 5 exhibits a strong sense of determination and aspiration, while the harmonic progress of 3 to 6 to 1 is entirely on the weak functionality, expression protagonist, gentle and lingering emotional expression. Now we are talking about the research finding and discussion. Through qualitative analysis with NVivo 12 software, we discovered significant differences in the perception and interpretation of the pentatonic scale across various cognitive frameworks. Firstly, traditional cultural roots prominently emerged in the interviews, indicating a widespread acknowledgement among participants of these ties between the pentatonic skill and traditional culture. Musician D highlights the profound connection between the pentatonic skill and personal growth with the cultural context. Secondly, the higher frequency of Oriental exoticism reflects the scale's perception in cross-cultural exchanges as an element with distinctive Eastern characteristics and exhaustive flavor. Additionally, the frequency of philosophical and historic roots underscores the deep connection between the pentatonic scale and the Chinese philosophy and history. These dimensions collectively emphasize the cultural roots and the cross-cultural appeal of the pentatonic scale, revealing its connection to deep-state Chinese culture and philosophy values and its entrenched position in individual and collective memory. Let's revealing the research findings according to our research question. Our research finding indicates that the cognitive and interpretation of the pentatonic scale in China are not only based on the structure and function of the music itself, but are also deeply influenced by traditional Chinese culture and philosophy. The integration of the pentatonic scale with the theory of the five elements connects music with nature, the human body, and the social order, reflecting the Chinese cultural pursuit of harmony and balance. In contrast, Western music theory regards the pentatonic scale as its simplified system, with functionality and tonal relationship considered similar to the pentatonic scale. Western harmonic system and tone music practices emphasize the functionality of chords and tonal center, with the application of the pentatonic scale in Western music often associated with special music style or ethnic musical elements, rather than deep culture and philosophical connection. Now we are going to introduce the research contribution and future direction. The study profoundly reviews the perception and interpretation of the pentatonic scale with various cognitive frameworks, providing new perspective for understanding its cultural and philosophical significance. By engaging in cross-cultural comparison and delving into the cultural roots of the pentatonic scale, we emphasize the role of music education in shaping perception of the pentatonic scale and highlight the need for more inclusive and culturally aware pedagogical approaches. Our findings not only deepen the understanding of the manifest nature of the pentatonic scale, which extends beyond well music notation to compass to reach texture of cultural values, historic influences, and philosophy underpinnings, but also to challenge conventional Western-centric views by offering an alternative perspective that acknowledges and respects in scales, Eastern origins, and cultural nuance. Furthermore, the study explored the role of the pentatonic scale in emotional expression and its connection to traditional Chinese medicine and philosophy, offering a new dimension to the discourse on music and health. It suggests that music, particularly the pentatonic scale, can serve as a bridge between the individual and the cosmos, reflecting the ancient Chinese concept of 天人合一, or the unity of heaven and humanity. By revealing the complexities of the pentatonic scale perception and interpretation across different cultures, this study contributes to the field of ethnomusicology and lays the foundation of music research, and at exploration the intersection of music, culture, and combination. It also has practical implications for music educators and composers, encouraging them to consider cultural context and philosophical implications when teach or create music that incorporated the pentatonic scale. In the future, We suggest that research could further explore the application of the pentatonic scale in different cultural and educational contexts and how it influences music composition and performance practice. Additionally, research could delve into the possibility of integrating the pentatonic scale with modern music technology and its role in global music education. Before concluding today's lecture, I would like to briefly recap the key points we have explored today. We have embarked on a profound journey into the pentatonic scale, from its perception and interpretation with various cognitive frameworks to its distinct manifestations in Chinese and Western culture. We have discussed how the pentatonic scale traces its musical notation to become a rich vessel of music value, historic influences, and philosophical foundation. Moreover, we have examined the role of the pentatonic scale in emotional expression and its connection to traditional Chinese medicine and philosophy, offering new perspective on the relationship between music and health. Our research not only challenges conventional Western-centric views, but also underscores the importance of the pentatonic scale in music education and cross-cultural exchanges. We have purpose directions future research, including further exploration of the pentatonic scale application in different cultural and educational contexts and its impact on music composition and performance practice. Lastly, I would like to express my gratitude for your participation and attention. Your interest and enthusiasm are the best support and encouragement for this research. I hope today's discussion has inspired deeper contemplation of the pentatonic scale and further exploration of the complex interplay between music and culture. The help page contains the references mentioned today. For those who are interested, you may find them useful for further reading. Thank you all. Bye bye.